cope since I left. People are saying you're crazy, you're useless, you're this. At times, even your family members are questioning what are you doing? Are you the only human being? So it is difficult. But remember, we believe that we must change this because we're on the right course. Otherwise, we'll consume everybody. So please do not be deterred, do not be demoralized. I know you've spent your time, your energy, your resources. It is difficult, but don't go away.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I think I'm having a glitch trying to unmute my mic. So let's go on. Mr. Benjamin, you have the space, please, in a minute, please. Guys, and let's keep our questions just one, please. We have plenty of people that want to ask questions, so let's just drop one question, frame your mind for just a question, and ask a question, and we can keep the conversation rolling. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Have the minute, please. Thank you.
Thank you, host. Your Excellency, my President-elect, Mr. Peter Obi, this is Benjamin Mayor. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to
Thank
be
you.
part of this great program today. I don't have any question for you, sir. If I'm asking you questions as if I don't know what is going on in the obedient movement, I just want to come here and give you the accolade that you deserve. Do not forget, 1 year and a day, making it today, the day you left PDP, and we all followed you to Labour Party. And since that 1 year, you have given birth to children, you are giving birth to people in politics, which we normally refer to as new breed. And we hope in the nearest future, this will be part of the change, the agent of change that you have created. And I just want you to know is that the journey that you are embarking on, you are not on it alone. We all started all this together. We are with you till the end. Do
Thank
not
you.
be afraid. Do not be afraid. Anything, anyhow, we did. You know, you didn't send letter to us to come and ask us to join you. We joined your movement voluntarily because we know
Thank
that is
you.
the only way we can save this country. So
Thank you.
anybody telling us we can't do it, we can do it. We believe in you. We have thrown you up and down. We set you. There is no single of corruption traced back to you while you were in government, even as a private citizen. This is one of the most important things that we need in a politician that will become a president of a country. That's the reason why most of us who also have that part, who have that mind to say this is what we can do and beat hand on our chest. That's the reason why we are supporting you, sir. Like I said,
Thank you.
I have no question. Be rest assured,
Thank you.
take your
And
medication,
please,
eat your food, you are healthy.
thank you very much. But and I also plead with all of you, if there's anything you think I'm not doing right, please feel free to tell me. Know that I'm a human being. I make my own mistakes and everything. There might be things that I've done in the past or I'm doing that is not right. Please tell me. If it's something that I need to explain, I'll explain my reason for doing it and all that. All I assure people is that I will not knowingly. I'm one person who has sworn with my life and my children that I will never knowingly, knowingly,
Yes, yes.
knowingly
Yes, Your Excellency.
do
We
anything
have,
that is wrong or
yes, Your
take
Excellency.
government money.
We have
So
it. We
for
have a
me,
sheet.
please don't be advising me from. We must be a family that advises each other, tell each
Yes, sir.
other when you're wrong.
Yes,
Especially, I
sir.
want to hear bad news always.
So we don't have bad news. We have what they call virulent space. There we'll be able to criticize ourselves and correct ourselves. That is what we're doing
Thank
there,
you.
sir. So if you have done anything wrong, just like what my brother said, Jimmy, we say stop apologizing on our behalf because we have this thick skin that we put on. Anything that come on social media with the chest and nothing they happen, all of us they here. So anything that
Yeah.
has to do whether you are doing well, whether you are not doing well, we always have a way to communicate with you, sir. The people on
Thank you.
that virulent space will not they say because say his preferential will give me a preferential treatment. We are looking for a way to repair Nigerian. That is what you have started. You cannot go away from it, and that is what we are all doing. We tell people to the face, this is what you have done, and this is wrong, sir. So as of the moment, I can tell you categorically, you have not done anything wrong so far. You only apologize on our behalf as a father that you are. We can understand that. But there are some people that does not deserve your apology. Thank you. I rest my case, sir.
Thank you.
Saddam, real quick before you go ahead, sir, let me use this opportunity to let you know about Parallel Facts. It was born out of this movement. It is a platform that you can use it as a reference to good and factual news, the real news, because now we have different kinds of media being controlled by the NBC. They tell them to do this, to do not to do this, to say this and not to say that. And Parallel Facts is just going to be giving us the news the way it is. For example, if they say Tinubu peace for body, oh, now so it be. It won't be like, oh, the president had a water spilled on me. No, he peace for body, now so it go be. So, sir, watch out for Parallel Facts. You can follow it. It's a place you can refer to as a source of fact, good news. It is what it is. They're not sugarcoating it. They tell you the way it is. It might come late, but it's true. Thank you so much. Back to you now, Saddam.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been ah, God have mercy. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I think let me just introduce my co-host, one of us that is here, N6. To bring him up here has been another tax on itself. As in to bring you up here, N6 is more difficult than bringing P2B. I don't understand whether you're also running for presidency or you ran for presidency, but you're here right now. Please let's keep the conversation rolling, guys. A question each for a minute, for 1 minute per question. Let us. We have hundreds of requests and over 4,000 questions down there in the comment section. So I don't know how you guys are going to do it, but so you're going to be here for a very long time because Obedience really want to speak with you. They want to hear you speak. Many people are banking on hearing you speak as a source of hope for them. I think I'll yield the mic right now to N6. N6, you are coming right now. Then I'll come back to our speakers. Thank you. N6, are you there? All right. I think N6 is struggling with his network still. Let's take a lady. Let's take a lady. Then I'll come back. We'll come to you, N6, if you're ready. Mombolale, you've been here for long, so we have the space in a minute, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Thank you
Good
for
evening, my
joining us
sister.
here. Right. So initially I was going to ask a question, but then, I know you're a man of faith. You have described your journey as being one of with the grace of God and a miracle in itself. And so I was listening out to the Holy Spirit, and it came to me that I needed to read out Psalm 91, because I know that you're not telling
Very
us all
good
you're going
sound.
through. It is indeed. I am reading the
Very good sound.
Amplified. I am reading the Amplified version, and it speaks to the security of the one who trusts in the Lord. It
Yes.
says, verse 1, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will remain secure and rest in the shadow of the Almighty, whose
My,
power no enemy can withstand. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in
and
whom I
he,
trust, with confidence and on whom I rely. For he will save you from the trap of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you and completely protect you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a wall. You will not be afraid of the terror of night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor of the destruction, sudden death that lays waste at noon. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but danger will not come near you. You will only be a spectator as you look on with your eyes and witness the divine repayment of the wicked as you watch safely from the shelter of the Most High, because you have made the Lord, who is your refuge and
In
my
today's
refuge,
fast-paced
even the
digital
Most
world,
High, your
creating
dwelling
consistent and
place. No
engaging
evil will
content for your
befall
business
you,
can be a
sir, nor will any plague come near your tent, for he will command his angels in regards to you to protect and defend and guard you in all your ways of obedience and service. I'll say that again: to protect and defend and guard you in all your ways of obedience and service. They will lift you up in their hands so that you do
opposite
not
of what?
even strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent. You will trample on the foot, because he has set his love on you. Therefore, he will save you. I will set him securely on high, because he knows my name. He will set you securely on high, sir, because he knows your name. He confidently trusts and relies on God, knowing you will never abandon him, no ever. You will call upon God and he will answer you. You will be with him in trouble. He will be with you in trouble. He will rescue you and honor you. With a long life will he satisfy you, and he will let you see his salvation. Amen. Thank you, sir. That was all I wanted to share.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. When you started, I said a very strong psalm, and I assure you, we're all here by his grace. It is by his grace. That's why I said that those who abuse power are abusing grace of God. Whatever we are in life is by his grace. And you cannot afford to abuse his grace. And I assure you, this is our journey. We will succeed by his grace.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was worth it. That was a wonderful prayer there. Okay, let's keep the conversation rolling. Mr. Joe Obedient, you have the space in a minute, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Good day, Your Excellency. Good evening. It's a honor speaking to you. Happy 1 year anniversary in Labour Party. You have done the unthinkable, the nearly impossible. I'll be very quick. My first thing to say is, please, Excellency, I don't know if it's safe for you to do it, but please open more exposure for us like you did with the oil test. I'm sure you have a lot of other information of things going wrong in Nigerian economy. More exposés like you did with the oil theft, the level of oil theft. There is a lot happening in Nigerian economy that we don't know. Can you hear me, sir?
A major challenge for small businesses is struggling to keep up with the demands of social media
help us with more
always finding yourself
information you have about things going wrong in the economy that
running out of
general masses don't have access to or don't know about.
Welcome to
we have been ignorant about, because that was a very small at the beginning, but it was very deep and it exposed a lot.
No, definitely. You know, I say it every day that it's a criminalized system. You know, and that is why you see us politicians juggling and paying any amount of money for position, doing all sorts of things, killing and maiming people, doing all sorts of things to. If it is going to work, the level of aggression, the expenditure and everything would drastically reduce. And that is why we must have a process that is transparent, because once that starts, that will be begin of building a new Nigeria that will solve this problem. All these problems we're going through. So thank you. I will continue in that direction. Now it's like I'm focused on this trial. When it's true, either way, we'll continue.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Let's take a lady right now. We'll be skipping it, one guy, one lady. Next, so I'm bringing up someone that I will describe as one of your top soldiers on social media. She goes, when I mean literal war, she goes to war, defending you on her own against a whole lot of enemies that come after you. So and yesterday was her birthday, so I promised her that you're going to wish her happy birthday, and she's here.
Oh, you would have given me. I wish you can even send me a number and everything so that I can send it personally to her. But
let her speak. Let her speak. Probably you can wish happy birthday to her directly. Thank you, sir. Distinguished Oluchi, you have the space. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Oluchi.
Good evening, my sister.
And I'm dialing in from the United States. I'm a big fan. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, I'm so excited talking to you. I've been telling everyone on the timeline, like, I'm definitely going to pass out if I say hello to you. But it's such an honor being here talking to you. And I've never had to speak
Thank
to
you.
any leader in Nigeria. You don't understand what you're doing for us right now. We love you, Peter Obi, and we're solidly behind you. Wherever you
Thank
go,
you, my
whatever you want, whatever it is, just let us know. We love you. Now, I just have one question, and this is concerning the incident that happened at the UK airport. I have been worried about that incident, especially the fact that it happened after Festus Keyamo said that they're going to match Labour Party propaganda to propaganda, and then suddenly we had the news that someone cloned your identity. So my question is, how are you handling that incident, and how would you prevent that from happening? Is the UK government cooperating with you to make sure that this does not repeat? Is there someone in custody? Is there any form of case going on? I'm just so curious about this, sir.
Let me, on behalf of the Obedient family, most sincerely congratulate you on your birthday. I know it was yesterday, but we're still on the even month. So our sincere congratulations. May God Almighty, who have been with you, bless you all this while, grant you many more healthy, fruitful, and happy years.
Thank you, sir.
And continue to bless you always.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
For what happens, my sister was very surprising to me. I've been to the UK this year at least 4 times. When I went to Chatham House, when I went there, when I was invited by the UK government, when I went to America, because before the elections, I was invited at the State House and tasting. So I always passed through the UK. So it was a surprising thing to me to appear before. I've lived there, of course, for years. Still own a property there because that's where I lived before I became governor. And for me to appear at the airport and you were asked to sit down, I was surprised. But all this happened within a few minutes. I must say that I was happy it happened. Because there's so many dramas that happened in that trip that I can't tell because we are conversation in the phone, but I can tell you a very shocking thing when somebody now appears and shows you that your identity is duplicated. My first reaction is to say, well, it means nothing until I was referred to an expert on identity duplication who shocked me. You know, my initial reaction is, this is nonsense. It doesn't mean anything to me. But when I told a colleague and a friend of mine in the UK, he said, I'm going to refer you to identity duplication experts. And I went to see, after an hour, 20 minutes meeting, I came out shocked because I used to travel. Of course, first he told me, he said, Peter, listen, this is what, I don't want to call it, comes from countries that use it to track people. He said, Peter, you could be implicated for set off a rape. Because simple, you book a hotel, they book at the same hotel, they have their own gang who comes in there, you're in that hotel, set you up, at night somebody says, oh, you did this, and they call police. In the UK, everywhere in the Western world, this is a serious case that you can't get a bail for. It could be implicated in murder because it's your duplicate. And because it's your identity, You checked into the same hotel. They use it to check into the same hotel. Same thing goes if they are checking any luggage. The same thing, you know. It went on and on and on, but thank God, nothing happened. Managing it, you know, I've been to the UK since then, and while they too are investigating, we hope. When I arrived after that, I was asked what went wrong. I explained to them. Well, they found out it's duplicated. They said they are looking into it. That's all I can say for now. I'm also very careful, extremely careful. I'm managing it. I'm hoping nothing goes wrong. But it all started from here. That's all I can tell you. It's something that started from Nigeria. And I'm being careful about it.
Thank you very much, sir. It's insane what you've been through in the course of this movement. And I for myself, I tell a whole lot of people that ask me and that get so agitated. Probably they say with your response, that you're calm and everything. And I'm like, you guys have to really understand that this man himself is passing through a whole lot himself. And with the grace you used to take all what you're passing through, it's something that's worth emulating. So thank you very much for that, sir. Please make sure that you're always speaking up, because one thing I want to assure you here is that you have the people. Do not forget, that's what you should understand. You do not ever have something and you keep quiet. You have the people behind you, strictly behind you. So please always speak out. The people, the office of the citizens are ready to always stand up for you. Please, where you feel you have to speak up, speak up. Thank you very much, sir.
I will. I'm sure it will even get worse as
Yeah,
we go forward.
I will be here to fight for you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me bring in my co-host. N6 have been here for the longest. So N6, I don't know if your audio is good now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. I might start this. I might start asking you questions from the most basic angles, because I really want us to start somewhere and head somewhere, so that way we don't discuss tribunal in one question, then the next question we're discussing something totally different. Please, sir. Currently, the president-select of INEC, we cannot even verify his real name. So I might ask you one of the funniest questions, but please, let's start at the very beginning. Excuse me, sir. What is your name? Where are you from? Who is your father? How many siblings did your father give birth to? How many children do you have? Who is your wife? Just basic standard information that currently, as we speak, we cannot even swear that the person in Aso Rock can give this information accurately. So let's just start at the most basic. Who is Peter Obi from beginning? Introduce yourself to us, sir, like we've never met.
Very simple. My name is Peter Gregory. I have a what I can call a local name, which I deliberately, people will always ask me, why, even my own children, Dad, why did you leave this off? And I said to them, I don't know why my father gave me that name. Because, you know, Peter, they say, is rock. Then my father gave me an Igbo name that says, Ongu Pase. What it means that you can't die. So I said, what a combination. So let me remove this, because I must die one day. Why should you say you can't die? You know? So that's, I don't answer it, but it's there. But that is Peter Gregory Obi. I was born in July 19th, 1961. So I was born after the independence.
And we can go and verify this.
But of course.
God bless you, sir.
Of course.
Continue.
If there's any mistake, it's from my mother.
In which hospital?
Not from me.
In which hospital? The hospital?
I was born in Waterside Hospital in Onitsha. Everybody knows Waterside Hospital in Onitsha, where I was born. And I started my primary school in Holy Trinity Primary School, went to Santa Maria in Onitsha, and then went to St. Augustine. I was in 3 primary schools. The reason being that I had an auntie who was teaching, and my auntie is fond of me. So wherever she's transferred, she wants to go with me. And of course, I was born in a family of 10. My mother had 10 children, 10 of us. So we're quite a number. My parents lived in Onitsha. If you live in a town called Onitsha, everybody knows the supermarket they call Aldil So Supermarket. 75 New Market Road. That's my father's business, the oldest supermarket in, I'll call it store in Onitsha, where my father used to trade in the 60s. Everybody knows him. That building is still there. It's where they have 75 New Market Road. They have now Mr. Biggs there because, of course, he's in years. Of course, my mother is the baker and the trader. So I went to these primary schools that I mentioned. I went to Christ the King College. Anybody who went to CKC in Onitsha knows me very well because I passed where I was deputy discipline prefect before I left school, played for the junior football, at least in 1 or 2 matches. So I'm well known in the CKC. From there, I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, from 1980 to 84. There's nobody who passed through Nsukka who will tell you he doesn't know. I'm not saying that, I'm not claiming that everybody knows me, but most people know me because everybody knows where I was as a student, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Since then, so if you go there, they will tell you where. In fact, the current Vice Chancellor is my mate. We came in the same time, left the same time. The current DVC, the 2 deputy Vice Chancellors are all my mates. We came in the same year and left the same year. If you ask any of them, they will tell you, we are all the same family. Since then, I've been to other institutions for training, maybe a few months and everything, some of which I'm an alumnus of, like Cambridge, Oxford. I'm a Kellogg scholar because I've done about 4 or 5 programs in Kellogg Graduate School. So when you do more than 3 seminars, you become a scholar. So I'm a Kellogg scholar. I've been to other ones which are not ones like Harvard, Columbia. I'm a London School of Economics. I'm an alumnus of IMD in Switzerland, Institute of Management Development in Switzerland. I've been to INSEAD in France. So these are institutions, and they're all recorded. If you go there, if you say, oh, this man passed, if you look at my CV, you see what the training or seminar went there. It's recorded. You can go and verify them, all that. And of course, basically, I'm a trader. Started my trading life in Onitsha. And if you come to Onitsha, I still live in Onitsha. I'm speaking from you from Onitsha. Everybody knows it's the only place that can live in Nigeria. It's the only place that I own a house that is my own. Bought land, built it in my own and live there and everything. And that's where I'm speaking to you from now. If you come to Onitsha, I tell people you're looking for Peter, they will tell you. Started my business, went into the corporate world where I sat in different companies as director. At a particular time, I was the youngest direct chairman of a bank in Nigeria. And I think it's still the same case. I was chairman of a bank at 38, 39 Fidelity Bank. At that time, I was also a director in 2 other banks, Canadian Express Bank. I was a director in about 8 companies, out of which about 6 of them are quoted. I've been the chairman of Security and Exchange Commission. And of course, I was governor of Anambra State for 8 years, where I can tell anybody while I was governor, my commitment was on issue that has to do with development of a society, education, health, and pulling people out of poverty per capita. In education, you can go and verify. Anambra was #1. In health, you can go and verify. In pulling people out of poverty, you can go and ask Mr. Bakol or Samsudin, that was Minister of Finance then, ask them who is #1 in fighting poverty while we were there. Overall, we won the MDG, Millennium Development Goal, as the best performing state in Federal Republic of Nigeria. That started in the year 2000 and ended in year 2015. I became governor in 2006, was impeached, came back in 2007. We started in 2008, but by the time it was concluded in 2015, Anambra was #1. I was even chosen by federal government of Nigeria and the United Nations office in Nigeria to speak at the UN gathering to say our experience. I left in 2014 and have always said consistently, the day I left office, I did not owe salary to anybody, pension, gratuity, all that were being owed before I came into office, gratuity and pension, especially at local government level, totaling over 35 billion were cleared. I did not owe one contractor, one supplier, and this you can go and verify. And I had in 3 banks, Fidelity Bank, we had 12 billion naira left, $50 million. Access Bank of Nigeria, 12 billion naira, $50 million. Diamond Bank of Nigeria, Diamond Bank, $50 million, 12 billion naira. The 3 MDs are still living, the banks are still there, and I can show you the statements and everything. And since I left, there's no severance, no pension, nothing to me as a governor. I have never earned Anambra have never bought me a bottle of Coke. This is my 10th year of living office. Because I refused to sign the Anambra Governor's Pension Law. Because I think it is wrong that somebody will stay 4 years, 8 years, and be paid 200 times what people who have spent their lifetime of 35 years cannot earn in their lifetime. Even when you've had the best, as governor, you're managing the resources of the state. So if you want to steal, you can steal. As all those monies I'm saying are left, could have actually have been, I could have stolen all of them and even borrow more. Could have taken it away. Nobody asked me. I remember my late senior sister, Dora Akunyel, will always ask me, Peter, why are you putting money in dollar? I said, well, listen, I'm just hedging. Now what I did is that I divided the money into 3, 1 in Naira, then 1 I'm using to buy shares, the other I'm keeping in foreign currency, just in case. They said, so why are you doing that? I said, well, listen, Auntie, every system saves. That is what I was brought up and taught in everywhere I've been. You must save for tomorrow. Because this money we are sharing and eating is not only for this generation, it's meant for also for future generation. This oil we are sharing from is a diminishing assets. One day it must finish. So we must save for tomorrow. So there's
sorry, sir. I listen to everything you say. And my major question remains, a nation that owes 77 trillion naira, about, double-digit unemployment rates, even look at how the election ran. Why are you interested in leading Nigeria? Just in 1 minute, why are you? I mean, with all this stress, sir, I would have packed my bags and gone to London and taken a holiday. Why are you disinterested in helping Nigeria?
Well, for me, it is. Thank you very much for that question. Because you know that what is happening can change. You know you can change. You know it can be better. You know, where will you want to see a situation that can be better? And you will not want it to be better. Because you can sacrifice for it and make it better. Because let me use the instance of what we're going through today, especially I was speaking to somebody. I was in Kaduna. I'm sure you must have seen it in the news just yesterday. I was in Kaduna. And I heard somebody whom I argued for about 2015, 2016, when Buhari was coming into office. And he was telling me that as a military person, he's going to fight the insecurity. And I said to him, listen, you don't fight insecurity by might, by power, by using guns and everything and all that. Yes, you do that, but you have what you can call fighting insecurity in what I can call natural way. So we met again, and I said, are we more secured now? So he gave me a school. This time I said, let me tell you. The first method of fighting insecurity is by ensuring that you pull people out of poverty. The more you pull people out of poverty, the more you fight insecurity. It is when you've done that that you'll be able to deal with the issue of those you can call criminals. But today, the system has been criminalized because people have stolen the public wealth instead of investing it in critical areas of development like education, where you now have almost 20 million people, 20 million out of school children, where you have so many people who are supposed to be educated who have not had the benefit of passing through a school, where you have 130 million people living in poverty, and you say you want to fight security by shooting them or by putting police on. No, you need to start pulling them out. So when you think you can do something, why do you have to stay away from doing it? I'm sure you have read what WHO said. Yes, World Food Organization, WFO, said about Nigeria that there will be hunger in Nigeria this year. And even went to say that the state where we're going to have the highest hunger is going to be Borno State, Yobe, and Adamawa. And like I kept telling people, how can we have a state like Yobe that is 70.9 thousand square kilometers of land? Yobe, 45.5, and Adamawa 36 point something. These three states alone, just three of them combined, is over 150,000 square kilometers of land. That is 3 times the size of Israel. Sorry, over 7 times. That's over 7 times the size of Israel. It's over 7 times. Israel at 22.1, so 7 times should be about that size. Yet Israel can feed themselves, export some agricultural goods, though they import some because they want some variety. But these states can't feed themselves. They had been declared a hunger zone. What is the vast land doing? So if you see opportunity that you can solve this, if you see opportunity that the vast land in the north can actually earn more money than oil, most of you are calling from, are joining us from United States, and you know that today, the #1 state in terms of GDP in America is California. What is problem in California? Is agriculture knowledge. And this is what we can provide here easily. And that is why I want to get involved. I want to get involved. I want to be part of changing this narrative. I want to be part of changing this negative situation of Nigeria. And that's why I keep saying, for me, the expression is to see Nigeria work. I'm sorry I took more than 1 minute.
That's
You
fine.
allowed me
That's fine.
even
Thank
10
you for your
minutes.
reply, sir.
But I have to do that because we can't wait. Anambra, for example, that I came and did a little work, we were number 26 and 27 in WAEC and NECO, and we became number 1.
Is it just me?
No, not just you. I think it's just a network fluctuation or probably a call. We'll give him about 3 minutes.
So he can change it. And I know with people like you, we can change it.
Thank you very much, sir. There's a question I want to go into that it's perplexing a lot of Nigerians. There is a Pandora's box that was opened in this election, the Pandora's box of tribal hatred and tribalism. It's worrisome at this point. I dare say, because we have a lot of it's online, we more or less had an e-civil war than it being physical. Please, sir, what would you suggest for frayed nerves, especially with what happened with tribalism, anti-Igbo sentiments to around this election period? How do we start to heal as a people, considering who is in Aso Rock now is not somebody we believe in? So how do we heal as a people outside of governance, considering this Pandora's box of tribalism in particular, although there was some religious and bigoted coloration to it? How do we heal this tribal Pandora's box? What ideas do you have?
I'm one of those, I've always said it, and I said it throughout my campaign. The truth is that we don't have a tribalism and this religious thing people are imputing. It is strictly concussion of the political elite, the criminal elites, to continue impoverishing our people and living off the confusion. I've challenged anybody to show me where Muslims buy bread cheaper. I've challenged anybody to show me where Northerners buy bread cheaper. There's more poverty in the north than there is in the south. So it's not a tribal issue. And I've said to anybody who cares to know, if I'm president today, I'll be celebrated in the north.
In today's fast-paced digital world, creating consistent and engaging content for your business can be a challenge. A major challenge for small businesses is struggling to keep up.
That the Muslims pass through. I've not seen where Christians buy bread cheaper or anything, or there's a hospital built specially for Christians. When Nigerians are sick, Christian, Muslim, they go to Dubai, they go to Egypt, they go to England. And I, for one, I've said it, I was governor for here for 8 years. 8 years. My ADC is from Kanu, and he remains the best policeman I've ever met in my life. We're close today and everything. I'm not somebody who usually, I'm not somebody who goes to hospital very often. But once in the UK, I was told that I need to go through a minor procedure. The procedure was conducted by Dr. Ayo, who is from Ondo. We remain friends till today. Whenever I'm in the UK, and Ayo will discuss about Nigeria, about everything. I have a lot of Yoruba friends, very close, whom I talk with every day. We do business together and everything. I've done businesses in Lagos. I've done businesses in North. I used to have office in Kanu, Meduguri, and Kaduna. And I said it just yesterday, that if we want the country to work, we must resuscitate the industries that have collapsed in Kanu, Bompai, Sharadan 1, Sharadan 2. Kaduna today, Bangladesh exports more clothing, which is just textile, than we earn from oil. What are we doing from Kaduna? All the textile industries have collapsed. At the time, they're doing everything. So these are things that are not going to be a tribal issue. We have so many shoemakers in Aba and everything. Vietnam exports if almost about or more than we earn from oil in footwear. So why are we wasting everybody's time by not doing the right things? I'm talking about tribalism and everything. We're borrowing money, throwing it away. Nobody can account for borrowed money. Today, they will tell you this is swallowed by a snake. So the next day, it's cat who took some. And what type of country is that? We want to see every other country in the world is borrowing money. America today owns more than 100% of its GDP as debts. Japan is owing 200 and something percent. But you can see what they use it for. In our own case, nobody can tell you what is happening. It's becoming a total joke. So that's what you see people who are elected living a life of stars, living a life of affluence, when those who elected them are dying. That's not what we're asking for. We're not asking for more than that.
Thank you very much,
things that are proper. That's it.
Thank you very much, Excellency. For my next question, I'm going to bring up Nigerian women. But please listen to my argument. When the current administration of Muhammadu Buhari was coming into power, they promised Nigerian women 40% of appointments on record. When they came into power, they only picked about 6 or 7 women as ministers. One of those women, Kemi Adeosun, had an issue with her certification. She was taken away from the position, and she wasn't replaced till much later on with a woman. That administration has bordered at about below 10 women in government in ministerial positions. But when you see this obedient movement, Nigerian women, sir, came out with their chests to support you. If you could tell Nigerian women, the first thing, encourage them and thank them for supporting you this election, and make them promises when you become president, whenever all of this is sorted out, what would you say to the Nigerian women who believed in you from working and then moving forward with you at the helm of affairs?
You know, I've talked about women issue a lot, and my own thing is, okay, let me join you and saying very big thank you to the Nigerian women, my very dear mothers, sisters. I can tell you, in Nigeria, from my own experience, women are more productive, more honest, more trustworthy than the men. I was chairman of a bank. I succeeded because I had a treasurer, a risk officer, and chief operative. They were all women. Company secretary, they were all women. And it was fantastic because they're less corrupt. As governor, my chief of staff, commissioner for finance, head of service, commissioner for education, all the areas where I did well, I can tell you are women. I believe in them. If I believe that not bringing them on board is a major part of where we are not productive and even more corrupt. So it's something we need to deal with. But knowing how things are here, we need to back it up with law. That's why I keep saying it must not go on without being backed by law. If we're going to say they will have 30% or 40%, let's legislate about it and ensure that it's going to work. I've studied what is happening in Bangladesh. If you go to Bangladesh today, because they have something that is backed by a rule of law, that's why they have a prime minister today that is a woman, opposition leader that is a woman. Their number one export is clothing. That industry is 60% occupied by women, in terms of employment. And I was in the villages and saw what they could do. So I assure you that I'm not going to make fake promises. I know what is happening with the obedient family, and we're going to work hard. We're going to work as a family. And you know, I can't preach, like when I came to Anambra State, I kept telling them, I can't do all this and come and fail. It will be, you know, people didn't vote for me on the 25th of February. They didn't vote for Peter Obi. They entrusted their hope on me. And you can't dash their hope. It was like going to a bank to pay, credit their money, hoping to withdraw it at an appropriate time. It's not because, I mean, they know they're not going to get anything from me other than just keeping to my promise. And I would have done that. I had people like, so many of them sacrificing and following me around and everything. It was, there's no way I would have done a lot, including ensuring that Nigerian women are brought into governance, ensure their place in corporate world, because not just in government, and pay emphasis to education of the women, young girls in the north.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think we have a couple of questions from the comment section. So we'll be engaging that way. Allow people who allow comment questions from our people down there. They really want to talk to you, but we have close to over 35,000 people listening to you now. So in case you don't know,
that's I have people on Zoom.
Yeah, people on Zoom.
They're telling me that I've abandoned them and went on this Twitter.
Let them stay abandoned. Let them stay abandoned. You have done so many Zoom meetings in the course of your campaign. You've never had this.
I was actually with them until people said no. When I was struggling with you, I was answering them, but now they feel very abandoned. I'm waiting.
Let them stay abandoned, sir. For the moment, we have tried having you on this Twitter space for a very long period of time. All through the elections, we couldn't. So I think I'll just rush out down to our
I'm not hearing you again. What is happening?
Can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir. Can you hear my voice, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, but they said I should abandon you people. Yes, I can.
Tell them that he's the president of 200 million Nigerians. They would have to be able to share him, please. He's now public property.
They said I should leave you people alone till next time.
Yes.
So I agree. So let me and these Twitter people continue.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can you hear me now?
We are 35,000 on this platform alone, madam.
It's still a conversation that
it's a conversation of two of us. Both of us are going on together. So I'm listening to the questions.
All right, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's take the next speaker. Let me bring in Savik now. Savik, you can